In the world of artificial intelligence, creativity, there are two camps. A camp that is for, a camp that is against. A camp that believes artists, creators should be compensated for their work being used. This is an ongoing debate, and what we've seen is settlement in the past few months. The way to proceed is extremely complicated with a lot of layers of understanding and dialogue. So, let's venture into a world of views that may be for our viewpoint or against our viewpoint. Let's jump into the discussion.
Okay, let's just say it. Generative AI is, without a doubt, one of the most exciting things we've seen in decades. The potential feels, well, limitless. But, and this is a huge but, the way it's being built has kicked off this massive and honestly super important debate. You've got this incredible game-changing innovation on one side, and on the other, the rights of the very creators whose work is fueling the whole thing. All right, so to really get our heads around this, we need to break down what it actually takes to build one of these super powerful AI models. It pretty much boils down to three key things. Let's talk money for a second. AI companies are pouring billions into the first two things. We're talking maybe $1 million a year for a top engineer and up to $1 billion on just the computer power for one single model. But that third ingredient, the data, the art, the music, the books from millions of people, that part, they kind of expect to get that for free. And, well, you can see where this is going, right? This has created a huge problem. A lot of AI companies are just training their models on copyrighted work without paying for it, not even asking. And this isn't some rare thing. It's quickly become the standard way of doing things for a big chunk of the industry. And look, we're not just guessing here. A study from the Mozilla Foundation really shows you the scale of this. Take a look at this chart. A whopping 64% of the big language models were trained, at least partly, on something called Common Crawl. That's just a giant pile of data from the internet. And yeah, it's full of copyrighted stuff. Then you've got another 21% that won't even say what they trained on. Well, it has some really serious consequences. And it's all because of one simple, inescapable fact. Generative AI isn't just a cool new tool for creators to use. It's also becoming their direct competition. I mean, think about it, right? If you train an AI on millions of short stories, it learns to write short stories. You train it on a ton of stock photos, guess what? It can make its own stock photos. The stuff the AI makes is competing in the exact same market as the stuff it was trained on. And look, this isn't some abstract idea. This number, -33%, that's a real story. That's a 33% drop in income for an artist named Kelly McKernan. It happened almost overnight. See, a popular AI image model was trained using their art, and suddenly people were just typing their name into the AI to get art in their style. They were literally being outcompeted by a machine that had copied them. And it's not just individual artists. We're seeing this on a much bigger scale. The freelance site Upwork, they reported that ever since ChatGPT came out, the demand for freelance writing jobs has dropped. We're talking 8% overall, and a huge 18% drop for what they call lower value tasks. The economic hit is real, and it's happening right now. So, this all leads us to the big one, the core legal and ethical fight. Is all this massive, unlicensed copying a legit fair use of data? Or is it just foul play? Okay, so you've got two very different stories here. On one side, you have the AI industry. Their argument is that this is all covered by fair use. They say the AI is just learning, kind of like a human artist learns by studying other people's work, and that trying to license all this data would be impossible. But on the other side, you've got the creators, and they're saying, no way. They argue this is just illegal copying on an industrial scale, and that comparing a machine doing this to a human learning, that's just not right, because of the insane scale, the speed, and the fact that the whole point is to build a commercial competitor. And believe me, this isn't just a friendly debate over coffee. This number, 70 plus. That's how many lawsuits are going on right now, all over the world. Creators and rights holders are literally taking AI companies to court over this exact issue. And you know what? The legal ground is already starting to shift. We just saw a landmark ruling out of a court in Munich. They basically said that under EU law, AI companies have to get permission from rights holders before they use their stuff for training. This could be a huge, huge turning point. So if the legal situation is changing, what's the alternative to just fighting it out in court? Well, a lot of people are pointing to a solution that's worked for like centuries in creative fields. Licensing, building actual partnerships. But that brings up the big question, the one the AI industry always asks. Seriously, with the insane amount of data we need, is licensing on that scale even possible? Well, the answer seems to be a big, fat yes. Turns out there are already a bunch of ways to do it. You can see here, companies can make direct deals with media outlets, they can use these things called data marketplaces, or hey, they can just use data that's already in the public domain. There are even different ways to pay for it, like sharing revenue or paying a fee up front. The system is already there. And hey, the proof is in the pudding, right? In just the last year, we've seen at least 27 major licensing deals happen. And there's this great nonprofit called Fairly Trained. They've already certified 18 companies that are building powerful AI models using only licensed or public domain data. So yeah, it's not just possible, it's actually being done. And this quote from a former exec at Warner Music Group, it really nails the core idea. For this whole ecosystem to work, you have to respect the creator's choice. It all has to start with opt-in. That means artists get to choose, and if they say yes, they get paid fairly and transparently. Simple as that. Because let's be honest, the alternative to working together is not good. Publishers are getting scared of their content just being scraped without permission, so they're starting to lock it down. And that leads to this closed web, which is bad for everyone, not just the AI companies. It hurts researchers, it hurts you and me, it hurts anyone who likes having an open internet. Which brings us to the final and most important question. We're really at a crossroads here, and the choice we make right now is going to define the future of, well, everything, both AI and human creativity. And you know what? The public seems to have made up its mind. A poll from the AI Policy Institute found that almost 3 out of every 4 people think AI companies should pay creators for the data they use. Only 9% said no. That's a pretty clear signal. The creative community is also speaking up, and they are loud. Over 11,000 creators, we're talking Nobel Prize winners, Oscar winners, have all signed a statement demanding that companies stop using their work without a license to train AI. And let's be super clear about something. The goal here isn't to stop AI. Nobody's trying to kill innovation. It's really just about a basic principle of fairness. The idea that all the things you need to build these incredible tools, the engineers, the computer chips, and the data, should be paid for, properly and ethically. So in the end, it really all comes down to this one choice. What kind of future are we going to build? Is it one where AI is a competitor, built on the backs of creators without their permission? Or can we build a future of collaboration, where this amazing technology and human creativity actually lift each other up and thrive together? The path we pick right now, that's going to decide everything.